What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Genesis back with another video on astrology. Before we get started in this video, I just want to open up with good energy by saying Grand Rising. Peace to all the gods and goddesses of Planet Kai. Peace to all the high vibrational beings on Planet Kai. Peace to the ancestors. Peace to the plant life. Peace to the elderly. Peace to the youth. Peace to the peers. And peace to the crystal baby starseeds and chosen ones. So, I was supposed to do this video last week, but there was a hurricane and basically a tropical storm came through, and I didn't really want to make a video while it was storming and shit like that. Well, I couldn't make a video because it was raining, first of all, and then it was gloomy and shit. It wasn't looking like how I was looking right now with the sun just busting on my face like this. But yeah, so I decided to, postpone it to this week because I'll be doing Mercury. As far as the planets, I'm doing the planets now. I finished basically most of the zodiacs except for Gemini and Virgo. So today I'll be doing Mercury. I forgot to do Mars yesterday, so I'll have to tap back in on it either next week or sometime later this week. But today we're finna just do Mercury energy plus the Gemini and Virgo's video. So it's kind of basically information all in one. It's not going to really be split up into like separate videos. Yeah, I'm going to just make it all one video. That way I don't got to worry about making multiple videos. So I'm just going to get right into this shit. And yeah, so when it comes to Mercury energy, Mercury is all about the mind, the mental, communications, how you process information, your communication style, the type of thoughts that the type of thought patterns that you would truly have depending on what energies Mercury is placed in. It's also about all about analytical thinking. It's the fastest planet in the whole entire zodiac, not zodiac, but the whole entire solar system. So it's the fastest planet as far as, what goes through all the signs. It has an air element to it. And yeah, it's ruled by Virgo and Gemini. So Mercury, we're going to start off with the planet first. Mercury, like I said, deals with communication. So depending on what signs it is in, it dictates what type of communication style you have. It also dictates the type of voice you will have, the tone of voice. So also what type of whatever zodiac sign Mercury is placed in, it'll basically influence that vocal pattern. A lot of exalted Mercury placements have great communication styles versus the debilitated. They have to go through a lot of challenges communicating. So you'll see that in certain signs such as Pisces, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Gemini. Aquarius and Leo as well, because Aquarius is exalted in Mercury, or Mercury is exalted in Aquarius, and Leo is debilitated, or is debilitated in Leo. So when it comes to the signs that Mercury rules, it will be Virgo and Gemini. Gemini will be the masculine side of it. Virgo will be the feminine side of it, because Earth is feminine, air is masculine. So those are the two polarities of Mercury and the signs that rule Mercury. To start off with Gemini, Gemini is basically the most known zodiac sign to be the communicators. They talk a lot. So a lot of Geminis, if you have a Gemini friend or you want to get with a Gemini, you just know someone that's a Gemini in your family, you know what I'm saying, you'll notice that they talk a lot. They like to communicate. They know a lot of things and like to communicate on what they know, and they like to just talk about anything. They're the main sign that you can just have a conversation about anything, bro. You can have a conversation about fucking leaves, and they'll just have a whole entire dispute about their perspective and what they think on leaves. Like, no matter what the fuck it is, they can talk about it. If they have, if they're more of a high, what's the word? Basically, if they have a higher, if it's the higher octave of Gemini, they tend to communicate things a little bit more persuasively, and not was it persuasively. Basically, just like Virgo, they can basically pick and choose their communication style, how they want to communicate. Their main ability is to be mutable through communication style. So, like, they're the chameleons because they're a mutable sign. Virgo's mutable as well, but Gemini is the mutable air sign out of the whole entire trio of the air signs. They're the mutable air sign, so that means they can basically, adapt to multiple communication styles, along with communicating with multiple types and forms of, other people who communicate differently. Basically, what I'm saying is they can be amongst the crowd, and they can just dip into a lot of crowds and, go with the flow as far as communicating, as far as ideas, as far as working with others, as far as, just implementing anything from the mind into the real world. They're good at doing that in multiple ways. That's why they're scattered a lot. You'll see that Geminis can't really focus on one thing versus their opposing sign, Sagittarius. Sagittarius have the ability to focus on multiple things at once, and they can get distracted and scattered if they don't focus too much, but they can maintain that focus more than a Gemini could. But yeah, Geminis, they're very intellectual. They're very intellectual signs, so you can't really get too emotional with a Gemini and expect them to really be able to communicate their emotions. They're more likely to communicate what they think of their emotions or what they think about the situation, not how they feel about the situation. So if you're trying to get a Gemini to be more emotional, depending on the other placements of their sign and specifically their moon sign, they're not going to be too emotional. And even if they are emotional, they're still going to resort to the communication aspect of themselves. They're going to communicate their emotions more like a moon in Gemini, or for an example, a moon in Aquarius. Air sign, air deals with the mental, air deals with communication. And Gemini is an air sign, so when they deal with emotions, they're flighty with it. They're not gonna hide from their emotions, but they're like, nah, they'll communicate a little bit on the emotions and they just kind of go on to the next, and they don't really try to do too much with the emotions. That's what I wouldn't say that will lose a Gemini, but it's like if you try to like hold them down with your emotions and they don't feel like they can communicate freely because they're a free thinker, they're not gonna. They have to basically talk in a very restricted way because of how you feel. They're not gonna want to fuck with you because like, damn, why you so soft? Why you so sensitive? But yeah. So Gemini is a mutable air sign, like I said. So they're really good at communicating. They can be good spokesmen, salesmen. As far as communicating a product, they can do good with numbers. They can definitely do good with numbers. They like being mental. So anything that kind of stimulates their mind, they can for sure, excel in it. Mathematics and English language is pretty much they're like, that's their home. That's what they excel in. And if you can, get them to focus on one thing and apply those ideas to that one thing, then, you'll get more of a higher octave of that energy versus a Gemini who just does shit for a little bit and then, on to the next. Basically gets easily distracted. But yeah, the similarities, just to talk about, with Sagittarius, their similarities as far as, being social. Sagittarius is one of the most social signs out of the zodiac, along with Gemini. Gemini has no problem associating themselves with a lot of people. They have no problem communicating with strangers. Same thing with Sagittarius. They're more likely to communicate with strangers than anything because they first of all, they like that attraction. They like being a part of something. If there's something that seems interesting, they're definitely going to join in. But they feel like they can bring something interesting to the table and just talk about it. They're going to, talk about it with you. They're the type of people that come at you with a story, and it's a very well articulated story, and it's like an adventurous ass story. And they'll be the type of people that want to communicate it. They want to tell, I got someone to tell this about, and they'll just call you up and just be like, yeah, let me tell you got some time, let me tell you about this, and they'll basically expand on what the fuck they've been through. Same thing with a Gemini. Only difference is they're more likely going to get kind of like lost in the details. Unlike Virgo focuses on the details. Gemini kind of communicates just broadly what the fuck is being conveyed or what they're thinking. They're not really too much focused on details. So whatever is logical to mind to say is what they're going to put out, but they're not too focused on like how they're putting it out. That's why they can kind of say whatever the fuck they want to say, be kind of cutthroat, just like a Sagittarius would, because they don't really think about how the timing of what they say, or like if is it a good time to basically say this, or do they consider someone's emotions when they say that. They really don't do it too much, although even though they kind of govern in that heart space because they're an air sign, they can tend to say what's true to you in a very fucked up way, just like an Aquarius or a Sagittarius could. Shit, even a Virgo, goddamn. But yeah, the Gemini energy is very flighty, very, very scattered, so they're not too quick to stay in one place, just like a Sagittarius. You can't really expect them to stay still. Their minds is always racing, so they're the type of people that are always moving around. They're always back and forth pacing. And if they don't have any earth energies within them to ground, they're definitely not gonna, focus too much on what's in front of them. They're gonna be too much in their head, and then you'll probably be doing some shit, and they'll probably be what you're doing it, but then y'all be talking about it, but then next thing you know, they just start talking about some other shit in their head. You don't know what the fuck going on, so you just lost. A Gemini can do that sometimes, but they know how to approach it where it makes sense, but then it kind of gets scattered, and you're like, all right, bro, you kind of all over the place with it. But for the most part, Geminis are very good at, conveying the message. They're one of the messengers of the zodiac. They convey and communicate to you very well. They have no problem talking about any type of topics, anything that gets their mind going, they'll talk about it. If it elevates their mind, they'll talk about it. They don't shy away from conversation. They'll talk about any goddamn thing. They kind of depend on that aspect of themselves to talk to other people because they have so much going on in their head. So if you really want to talk to someone, talk to a Gemini. They're one of the signs that can relate to you. They're the relatable signs, just like a Libra, but Libras do it on a one-on-one scale versus Gemini is just about the conversation and like throwing out ideas and keeping the conversation kind of going on. But yeah, so that's Gemini. And with Virgo is basically the humanitarian side of things, as far as they service other people. They like to help people. They like to make sure everything has structure around them and everything is in place so that shit can flow smoothly and no one's left out of the bunch. They're earth. Virgo is the earth sign, so it's the earthly aspect of Mercury. They're very grounded on how they think, so they're not going to shy away outside the box. They can think outside the box if they allow themselves to, but most of their thoughts, ideas, and the way they kind of approach things analytically is going to stay within boundaries. So they what they have to learn is how to think beyond what the fuck they can see or convey or be tangible. Especially if it's a Mercury in Virgo, they really have to learn not everything is just only physical or what the fuck you can prove in the physical. You have to actually take it from the ethers and bring it down to the physical so that people can understand it from not only the ground level but the more etheric level of life, or the heights or whatever. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I'm just trying to compare shit. But Virgos, they really have a good ability to articulate and communicate things because they are very precise on what they want to say. They think really hard on what they want to do as well. They'll spend time just thinking about how they want to do things. They're the planners of the zodiac, so they'll really think real hard on planning shit. They want to make sure everything is perfect, precise. Everyone has their place and role and position in this plan, and if they need to move something around, they will have no problem doing that as long as it's logical and it makes sense to do it. Because if their plan is already working and they feel like it shouldn't change up, they're not going to change. That's where the stubbornness can come in, because it's like, damn, nigga, I know you really wanted it to be like this, but that ain't working. And they can be real nitpicky about that. Virgos, when it comes to their ideas, they're really nitpicky on initiating them because they want it to be exactly how they constricted in their brain. It can't go anything outside of how they thought it out, because if they do, it's like, damn, how am I going to really articulate that in the way that I want it to be presented? And once they learn how to step outside the box, or how outside the normal ways of thinking, then they can kind of basically take that information and just excel with it in a more higher octave, like an Aquarius. Because Aquariuses do fixate on ideas, but they at least step outside the box to kind of elevate the idea or elevate whatever the fuck they trying to do. Virgos, they're kind of mundane with it, so they kind of stick to what's normal, because it's Earth. Earth is very practical, it's very logical, it's not going to do too much out of the box shit. Okay, it's a very simple ass energy. So if they're in a position where they have to think outside the box, or they have to not be in a normal state, it's going to kind of fuck with them. They're going to have anxiety. It's going to cause anxiety, overthinking, overanalyzing everything that they fucking do, because it's like, damn, I'm trying to make sure that I ain't fucking up because I don't have control. It's kind of a control factor, not like Capricorn, but it's like, because it's Earth and it's tangible, if I can hold a rock, I should be able to hold this rock without it morphing and changing and slipping through my hands randomly. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. But for the most part, on that aspect of Virgos, communication-wise, and ideal-wise and being the planner of the zodiac, they can't do that. Another side of Virgo is they're very, very, very nurturing. So like a Cancer, they can nurture you, they can take care of you. They want to make sure that you're safe. That's why they're the healthiest, or the nutritionist. Yeah, the nutritionist of the zodiac, because they want to make sure that the body is taken care of. They're the healers, just like Pisces. They're opposing sign. They're the healers of the zodiac along with Pisces. The difference is they heal the physical body. They heal like the muscles instead of like with energy behind the muscles. That would be Pisces, the unseen energies. Virgo would be the seen energies. So, pioneer, like if you're trying to heal like your crown chakra, to them the crown chakra healing will be doing some mental work, healing the brain, eating certain foods that heal the brain, having a certain diet that contributes to that energy of the crown chakra, versus a Pisces will basically meditate, do certain herbalistic practices, do certain rituals that tether to that chakra and kind of heal that energy of the chakra, but they all do the same exact thing. Virgos, their loyalty, if you're not too outside of the normal as far as what they have lined up for themselves, their loyalty can definitely be there. If they have real love for you and they really like want to look out for you, they will nag you in the sense of, nigga, I see this like this and I know you can excel in this way. I know it's not your way, but if you're trying to get to where you're going logically in this moment, I'm going to push you to do this. And it may be uncomfortable, but my nigga, you got to kind of have this routine down pat. And if I don't see you have a routine of what you're trying to accomplish, I'm going to say something because I care. If I didn't care, I'll say something, but in the sense of trying to hurt you. Like, damn, nigga, I don't know why you act like you all this, because you don't even do this and that. Like this, like, if it was me, I'd do it like this, because really logically, like, you see how many times it's fucked up and you still trying to do it. And me personally, I wouldn't go through. They'll just go on a ramble how precise and how they would do it, because they're nitpicky. They nitpick on certain things. If you are doing certain type of work for them, trying to build something for them, it's not the way they want it, they're gonna be like, nah, I don't like it. And no people, saying if they don't like it, they don't like it. But it's like Virgos can be really precise on how they want shit. So it's like when they do it, how they come off with them, it's like it's really like controlling. That's what I say. It can be very controlling in the sense of how they want it, so particular, not perfect, but they can have a perfection quality to it. But for the most part, it's like they want it very particular. They want the frame structured in a certain way so that they ain't got to do too much. Like I said, stepping outside the box, being confused, or they just want it like that. I can't really put my fingers on how or why they want it like that, but for the most part, that's how Virgos are. Hey, what I told you about barking at kids, bro. It's too early for that. But yeah, I don't know, man. But yeah, when it comes to Virgos, bro, they really do have a natural knack. They have a knack for perfection. Like, you see, what's his name? I was finna say LeBron James. I mean Kobe. Hey, bro, chill out. You see me talking, you over here barking. Yeah. Y'all see my dog. Some kids going to school, feel me? But yeah, they have a knack for perfection. That's how you see Kobe. He was really good at basketball. He was able to perfect his craft and, become one of the greatest basketball players, basically, to touch the court. Hey, no. Bro, no one finna hear all that, bro. Chill out. Yeah. Why you... That he was one of the greatest basketball players to touch the court, he worked every day. He worked hard. He had a good work ethic. Virgos have a work ethic. They have a routine of working. It's earth energy, so they are one of the workers. They service other people all the time, in the sense of like for Kobe, he was a role model. He showed you how to have a certain mentality to get what you want to accomplish it by having that routine down packed of going to practicing your craft every fucking day, so that when you're in the real game, it feels like practice, and you just have a routine on what you do on the court. That's what Virgos are all about. They're the routine aficionados. I don't know how to say it, but they're the routine signs. They're the most routine-based signs out of all the zodiac and all the earth signs. All the earth signs have routine. It's just they're more predicated on a daily routine. That 6th house energy. And we'll talk about the 6th house, you know, like I said, later on. But they are the everyday do it like this type of signs, you know. They can't have a boring life. Their life can't seem boring depending on what other signs they have. But for the most part, they like to keep shit simple, straightforward. You know what I'm saying? Then one day they're not going to be doing this, and then the next day they're going to do it differently. No, they're going to do it the same every day. And it's just how they are, you know what I'm saying? If the routine's thrown off, they start getting anxious. If they don't know how to readjust quickly, they're gonna really start like tweaking out and just like, damn, they don't feel like the days is gonna just be bad, you know. I don't know. Like I experience Virgo differently because I have family members that are Virgo, and I had a few Virgo friends, but for the most part I just experienced it personally. And on top of that, it's my opposing sign in astrology, you know what I'm saying? Most of my chart is Pisces, so when I think about that particularness and that routine or healing or just helping other people, being genuine and having that giving energy like Virgo, I understand it because I'm a very giving person. I don't really think too much of myself in the situation. Virgos will do the same thing. It's just they have limits. Pisces don't really come with limits. Virgos come with a limit. It's like you fuck up once, it's like, all right, bro, I ain't really, either A, I'm not gonna fuck with you too much, or B, I'm gonna speak on it, and if you ain't trying to fix it or not, ain't trying to get yourself straight, they not gonna fuck with you too much. And yeah, you done lost a Virgo friend, yeah. But for the most part, Virgos are really good business partners. You know, they're good at planning things out. So if you want a good business partner, you know what I'm saying, you got a Virgo friend, trying to see if they're interested in managing, you know, the simplicities of your business, you know, the money to how it's structured, set up, the positions, all that, because they're mutable, so they can dibble and dabble and damn near everything. It's just they have to have a routine and a grasp on what the fuck they're trying to do, because if you don't have a plan, it's like, I don't really want to do it. It has to come with a plan, or you have to allow me to make the plan. If they can make the plan, then boom, everything all Gucci. But if there's no plan at all, it's like, I don't think you really want to do this shit. And they're not going to move forward with some shit that is not really structured, because that's earth energy. And all earth signs don't like just getting into anything for any reason. They like it to be structured, practical, and beneficial. But yeah, that's pretty much like the Mercury energy overall. Like I said before, I'm gonna touch on these signs later on, because, you know, I'm just trying to make everything simple, straightforward, you know what I'm saying, so y'all can understand it, y'all can grasp it, hold on to it, and just be all right. So when I drop more videos, it's like, damn, nah, he kind of hit with new perspective. But, you know, that's basically all I got for Mercury / Virgo / Gemini, you feel me? So I'm gonna leave as I came by saying, Grand Rising, peace to all the gods and goddesses of Planet Kai, peace to all the plant life, all the ancestors, my peers, the youth, the elderly, crystal baby star seeds, the animals, if I ain't said that already, because this little motherfucker like to bark right here. You know what I'm saying? Nigga. Negro. I don't want to hear that, bro. Don't make me come back there. I will come back there. I'll come back there. You don't want me to come back there, because I'll come back there. But yeah, man. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. If I missed anything on any of Mercury, Virgo, Gemini, just drop a comment in below if you're a Virgo, Gemini. Just, you know, drop your signs, drop your symbols, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Y'all season Virgo, so go ahead. You know, I know y'all been waiting for this video. Go ahead and drop that shit, you feel me? And I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Peace.